Welcome, 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 everybody. Give yourself a nice round of applause. I appreciate you being here. Appreciate it. Put my headset on. And today, this morning, or this afternoon, I should say, because it's about 12:05 on the East Coast. I'm on East Coast time. It is Hump Day, Wednesday. Or for the women, it is National hashtag No Brawl Day. So make sure your woman is see if your woman's gonna participate in hashtag No Brawl Day. So what are we podcasting here about tonight? First of all, shout out to Porter Rock did a 60 frames no lag. He had a Panic on there, and Blandrew swung by. Also, King Thrash came through and was PG-13 and talked a little bit about the physics going on. But yeah, so shout out to that. Go check that out. They Porter Rock still has that posted. So yeah, and I just did some Death Stranding play, and I had once again. I don't get that game. I'm trying to deliver and take stuff places, which all right, that's fine because it's a dystopian society, and you run into terrorists, and they give you different kind of weapons that you can fabricate through 3D printing, which is again pretty cool, pretty cool. But these black dudes keep throwing me down in the mud, and then somebody is throwing me grenades, and I take care of business, dispatched it. It was easy. But shout out to everybody out there, and shout out to, let's see who's watching. First of all, hit that like button, and if you want to go ahead and hit up and make sure that because you got you got to get Louwaffa his props today. That's why we're here. We're celebrating the performance, the confirmed performance by a PS, on the PS5. Shout out to NX Gamer. So, but yeah, we got confirmed performance, and what we could talk about why the we got Alan Wake news. First things first, Alan Wake is out. It appears to be, people on PlayStation appear to be buying it and they're playing it. I'm gonna pick it up on Friday. Okay, just so you know, I will be picking it up on Friday, and I'll be picking up something else too, because that's only like $30. So I'm thinking I'll buy that and probably get something else. Maybe Resident Evil 2, because I got mad because I couldn't stream Resident Evil 2 on my PlayStation. It's like they blocked it out. So I don't know. I need to find out if I can still if I can still stream it on PS5, because I heard it was blacked out. They said it was too graphic or something like that. So but yeah, we're gonna celebrate that about the PS5 victory, the power narrative. The crown has been passed to PlayStation 5 as we got confirmation through NX Gamer, and I shout out to NX Gamer, and that's why we're here. We're going to celebrate that, and we're going to celebrate the people that are here. Hit that like button. Shout out to the AI Truth. It says it's going to win the graphics crown period this gen on all platforms. Just wait for Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine. Chris B. Shout out to Chris B for becoming Chris B been around for a while. Shout out to you, Chris B. And he has become a member, and Chris B has decided that to stay a member, and I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate you. Gaming Nights in the house. He says, is this Mass Effect? And yep, that is Mass Effect Andromeda. That is running at 1440p with ultra graphics. And I had to turn it down. I think I was running that game at like 172 frames per second. I V-synced it to 60. Okay, so it is what it is. Deidre, what is happening? He says the stream cut off. Yeah, that's because I was streaming on YouTube via the PlayStation, and then I turned this stream on and moved people over. I was gonna start streaming about 11, but had some stuff come up, so I had to cut the stream off. I wanted to stream for an hour, didn't do this quick podcast. What is going on? Of course, we got the Nightbot in the house. Turs is great. Yep, that's Andromeda. And Gaming Night says Xbox Series X is weak and the PS5 is strong. Oh my goodness. A1 PlayStation Pegasus is in the house. Oh, shout out to Duke Fu, who has subscribed. I appreciate you, brother. Oh, and Pop Smoke and Ghost has subscribed as well. So we got 2 new subs. Give them a round of applause there, audience. Yes. They have decided to, join the truth, which is the only place you are going to get the truth is here. Because we carry the fanboys. Like, I was carrying this woman on Death Stranding. I had to fight with this woman on my back. It does not say why this woman can't walk. So like, you need to walk. You need to do something, because this is straight trash that somebody's got to carry you, like I had to carry her with something trying to attack me and pull me into the ground. So, but yeah, shout out to everybody that's here, everybody we listening later. Like I said, I was going to do this a little earlier. Some things came up and and I'm going to keep playing Death Stranding. I thought I was almost finished with it, and somebody said in the chat that I was only halfway through. I'm like, are you kidding me? I've been playing this for like 20 hours, So, all right, that's cool. There's a whole lot to do in that game. So, that's fine. But my goal is to beat that game before I go out and get the physical Cana. Because once I start playing Cana, I'm loving what people are saying about that game, and I love the way that game looks, and I'll play that game forever. So, but yeah, what is going on? King Boo in the house. Hit that like button, people. And if you dare, if you want to see the Booty Warrior, go ahead and hit that super chat button, and the Booty Warrior will pop in and make the fanboys, make their butts hurt. That's what the Booty Warrior does. But all right, guys, we'll keep it moving. All righty, so what we got going on here is we had a report via IGN. Michael with he's NX Gamer. I left a link in the description. And I'm not going to play the video because I'm not going to get copywritten. I'll probably get copywritten with that podcast for the music that was playing. So I may have to take that down. But yeah, I don't have an issue with Death Stranding. I just, man, I thought it was, I thought by taking this person to reunite this person, maybe we could get to the end game. And so yeah, still, nope, it didn't work. So it didn't work. So, but I gotta set up some zip lines. I'm gonna try to do that today, and I may have to look up how to do that, and that's fine. But yeah, we'll keep it moving here. But the PS5 has been confirmed by an independent analysis to be just as powerful as a 2070 Super. Remember, I told you guys, and shout out to Louwaffa, that the PS5's performance would be right where the 2070 Super is, and even where the 2080 is going to be. Now, he being NX Gamer, said in his video that the PS5 is actually, with Death Stranding. Let me preference this. With Death Stranding, right, is performing at closer to what a 3070 could be. So that's that's the big kind of news. And this ends this whole power narrative and which console's more powerful. Because if you're performing at a 3070, that is roughly where the 68, maybe even the 6900s are. And you got to remember that, you know, in the video, he's got a 2070 overclocked. He's got a 5600 XT. Now, the 5600 XT is an RDNA 1 card. RDNA 2 is different. I mean, you do not have to have as many, because remember, it's more efficient. So you don't have to have as many T-flops to make it as efficient as it can be. And that game shows it. And Mark Cerny did address this. Mark Cerny addressed this, you know, during his road to PS5 that bored everybody to death. And it did bore everybody to death. But he talked about, you know, the PS5 with RDNA 2 and compute units and the size of compute units. And I mean, it was beyond me, you know, the size of compute units and stuff like that. But yeah, people can go back and look at that and educate yourselves. And that way you're not in this back and forth on whatever, Twitter or YouTube and all that kind of stuff. But what do you all think of the report? Is the report going to be is a 3070 roughly where we are going to be with these consoles? We know with the PS5, we now know where it's going to be roughly. And again, he used deep learning super sampling with the NVIDIA card and everything. And so just go check out the video. It's extremely in depth. And so it's, you know, it is what it is. But the 2070 specs, just to give everybody some idea. Let's see here. It's the Turing architecture. It's got transistor count of 13.6 billion. It recommended price is $500. Let me see here. Let's go to this. Maybe find the that's the clock speed. Not a whole lot there. The 2070 is a extremely efficient card. You know, it does your what's it called, machine learning. It does all that. So okay, let's see here. Here's your 2070 in flops. It is 9.1 T flop, floating point 32. So that's where you are. And remember, you're right at about 10.2 T flops. But let's look at the 3070 here. Trying to put it so we can put this up on the screen. All right, yeah, we can put this on the screen. Hold on. Head and up, Groupzilla. Get you're supposed to have your tenant questions ready, Groupzilla. So let's have them while we're here today. we're celebrating the PS5. So, all right. So here's what I was just looking at, so you all can see it too. So the now we're talking about performance here. Now this is in NVIDIA. Let me make this clear. This is NVIDIA. So what he's talking about in the video, here is your 2070 Super. You're getting the PS5 with Death Stranding. Let me make this clear. With Death Stranding, is outperforming this right here. All these measures. Their CUDA cores, their clock, their it's outperforming it. So again, you look at your teraflops, you can look at your memory, all this is getting outperformed. Okay. To give you a little bit, you at the gym. Well, ask me a quick question while you're at the gym, then I'll answer it. Like I said, while it's on my mind. But isn't the PlayStation's gigabyte bandwidth isn't it around this number? I can't remember now because I've had so many numbers in my head. But I love this. So we're just talking about performance here, but you're looking at these are the raw specs. So let's see if we can pull up the 6800. See if we can pull that up. Exit out there. Oops. Yeah, but last night Optimus Code and J Dub couldn't make it. J Dub's a little under the weather, and like I said, my throat's hurting. So we're gonna try to power through. And so, all right, so let's look at the 6800. X versus the 36. Right? Ooh, we can use user benchmark. Me some. Now let's see. Not use. Yeah, let's use Tech City. Alrighty. Wow. All right, so here we go. All right, so these cards came out September, October, 60 days away from each other. I'm gonna put this up on the board here so that you all can see it. Because you all need to see how powerful your PS5 actually is, and it's hard to understand this what Sony has done here. All right, there we go. So this is the 3070, and this is matched up against the RX 6800 XT. And this is roughly now. People have sent me stuff about Navi 21 and stuff like that, and this is what they were trying to say. So this is an RDNA 2 card, like the PlayStation. Let's see here. You got that's general info. All right, let me bring that screen up for you. All right, here we go. There we go. Now let me come. All right. Well, you can see right here. You're looking at your GDDR6. You're looking at 16 gigabytes, which is what 6800 has. This is 8. This is the 2070. You're outperforming this. You're outperforming this thing over here. So this is the way it should be. The way it should be. I love it. So do not get caught up in your power narrative. You can clearly see the PS5 is more powerful now. And that is it. Right? Now remember, I think PlayStation was going to possibly make cards. I can't remember if it was 6 nanometer or 5. So this right here, just take it, as Matt's Gaming would say, with a grain of salt. But you're outperforming this. Okay? With Death Stranding. So where did the first party games go? I mean, I'm looking forward to the first party games now. Can you imagine with Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine and Knights of the Old Republic and stuff like that, God of War is and we just got a snippet. Of Horizon Forbidden West. We just got a snippet of that. So have to wait and see. I also got some news here that Sony may have another announcement tomorrow on another possible studio, but we'll have to wait and see how that goes. And Paul G says that so the PS5 is more power. Yeah, we're talking about performance here. This is why you benchmark your specs, you know, so and this is why you do it. So, but this is where you are. And shout out to NX Gamer because he's the one who's quote. I mean, you all can go to his video. I left a link in the description, as you kids would say, and that link in the description. He clearly says it's outperforming the 2070 Super. Now, which I remember, I told you all. Shout out to Louwaffa that you were going to be right at a 2070 Super and sometimes higher. I said you may even get to 2080. And that's what's been proven out. Now, this doesn't mean it doesn't have some issues. With the Alan Wake does have some FPS drops. It does on the PlayStation 5, but it doesn't have any screen tearing. Guess what has FPS drops and screen tearing? That's right, you guessed it, the Xbox Series X. So ask yourselves why. Why does Xbox Series X, which is supposed to be the world's most powerful console, have issues with this screen tearing? Okay? I mean, you know, let's see. Actually, you know what? While we're here today and we're celebrating, shout out to Louwaffa. This is for him because he was spot on, and I got you all the correct information. No fanboying. I said, look, here's what my source has told me. So here's what I'm expecting. And we now find out within a calendar year of launch, or right at a year, we find out that this is all true. So yeah, Guapzilla did say that, and that's where we got the 3070 up here. Now he did preference that, and NX Gamer preferenced that by saying that this is with Death Stranding. You know, he didn't say anything about it's doing it all the time. Okay. Okay, so let's be fair, let's be accurate here. But here's the card I want. I wouldn't mind having this 6800 XT or the 6700 XT. I prefer the 6800. Okay, but I'm not gonna find it, right? It's too hard to find. That's why I'm looking at the TVs. So, because I'm like, well, I'm not gonna be able to get my graphics card, but I can get another CPU, and that's what I'm going to do. And I'm gonna end up probably getting another motherboard because I'm gonna build another PC, which is fine. Final vote expected on Hero Pay. Now you're talking, yeah, give me my Hero Pay. Then maybe I can get that TV. And what are you saying, NXS? So the firmware isn't even fully optimized for PS5. Yeah, I mean, you're right. Yeah, we know. But, you know, that's our little secret. We know that. So, Versus Great says that, remember, ways back, Digital Foundry showed us the PS5 GPU tapping level par with 2080 Ti and Assassin's Creed Valhalla in high graphics settings at 1440p. Note the strong vote. Yeah, well, again, yeah. And remember, Assassin's Creed Valhalla was dynamic resolution. So I get what you're saying. Okay? I get what you're saying. Oh, no, you're right. And you're right. So, but I'm just saying, I like the independent confirmation, and I love the way he broke it down, because he had a 5600 XT up there, which is an RDNA 1 card, because I have that card, okay? And you know, then he had a 2070 up there, and he had a 2070, and he had a 2070, and then he had a PlayStation 5. So he says thanks to all the enhancements, the IO cache scrubbers, smart shift. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. And look, Death Stranding, when those things come, what are they called? I don't know, the BBs or BGs or whatever they're called. There's a frame rate drop. I mean, you can see it because it's going into like a cinematic mode, right? So, yeah, Xbox is dealing with split memory. That is true. But I want to take this. I'm going to leave that up there for you guys, and I'm going to let's see if we can actually find out what causes screen tearing in video games. Yeah, there we go. All right, here's my answer. Screen tearing occurs when your monitor's refresh rate and GPU frame rate are not synchronized. Although most gamers might not see having a higher FPS frames per second than your monitor's maximum refresh rate as a big problem, it can cause obvious screen tearing, which can be quite annoying. Now, screen tearing is is what's going on with Alan Wake. And again, so what the PlayStation 5 does, let's see if we can put this up on screen. What the PS5 does, allegedly, is it has an FPS drop, but it doesn't have the screen tearing. And it does not have VRR turned on yet. So if it doesn't have VRR turned on, what are we doing? Okay? Why are we having so much screen tearing? So there you go. Screen tearing occurs when your monitor's refresh rate and GPU frame rate are not synchronized. So it's characterized as a horizontal split at one or more places of the image. So again, this keeps happening. And you can see right here, you see this tree here? Here's the base of the tree. It's torn. The screen has torn. So, so since you can fix it by enabling VSync, adaptive VSync, enhanced sync, fast sync, FreeSync, or G-Sync, depending on what your PC and monitor system support. This is true. But screen tearing on PS5 does not happen. Okay? Or I'm not, all right, let me rephrase. If it happens, it corrects so fast you don't even see it. So my question, and I'm not trying to be facetious here, why are we having screen tearing on the quote world's most powerful console? And even though you have VRR. So see what I'm saying? So just so you know. Yeah, all hail the power. You know, like the almighty Spartan God said. It's hell the power. So you know, so now that Sony has won this, and this is what you're gonna expect if you get a PS5. If you don't have one, which I understand, you know, and a lot of people don't have one. All right. So this being, you know, but this is what you can expect going down the road. And I saw some 2022 games. I mean, look, you're gonna have God of War, you're gonna have Gran Turismo, you're going to have Horizon Forbidden West. Seriously, I mean, you're going to get some really good games, and Horizon Forbidden West comes out in like 128 days. So isn't Alan Wake a direct export over? I'm not sure. Guapzilla, I mean, you're getting these in. Where's your tenant question? So yeah, so we could. So just asking. You think it's a split memory pool? I'm not. Okay, that's fine. What's up, Cryptic Viper? World's most powerful Xbox, not console. Even Microsoft had to correct that misstatement. Really? Now, see, when I went to Best Buy, matter of fact, you know, when I was at Best Buy, I did not see the sign that said world's most powerful console. It's not. Let me make this clear. I didn't look for it, but I went back to that area. And it had something up there with the Xbox. I cannot remember what it was. So are they now calling it the world's most powerful Xbox? So let's see. Since VRR is damn handicap in my eyes, get the game performance great. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's why VRR, in my opinion, for PlayStation was not that big a deal. I mean, but let's give a shout out to Louwaffa. You know, who was dead, who nailed the specs, the performance. Let me make this clear. Not the specs, but the performance. I mean, because that's what we concentrate here on. What's up, Dark Queen Gaming? So, what's up, Dark Queen? So, let's see here. They're based off AMD 6000 series. Well, see, the Xbox Series X is not performing like the 6800s, though. You see what I'm saying? The 6800 does not have the screen tearing, doesn't have the FPS drops. It doesn't. I know people that have that card. Now, I mean, they pay like one stack. I mean, F that. I'm not paying that much. so, um, so just so you know. What is up, Cryptid Viper? Yeah, I see the world's most powerful Xbox. Is that what they're saying now? I did not know that. I mean, I've seen them say that, but have they changed it to that officially? It just says that the Microsoft's Xbox Series X is the world's most powerful console. Claimed by, let's see here. Yes, you read that right. Microsoft has regularly claimed the Xbox Series X is the world's most powerful console. This actually comes from News 18. Wow. Oh, let me put this up because this is like the news. Okay, Oh my, I didn't know this. Y'all making a laugh on this one. I know my audience is ready for a laugh. It says, this is new. Look, News 18. Microsoft Xbox Series X is the world's most powerful console. It's got a question mark. Sony's PlayStation 5 is outperforming it. All right, that's just. All right, this is from last year, but this is the most up to date article I could find. So. So, I mean, they can claim anything, okay, across a number of performance criteria in game performance is what is supposed to be the next big battle of gaming consoles. It's been a sluggish start. Oh my gosh. You pre-ordered something on Amazon today. I got a chair coming Friday. I'm getting excited about that. Screen tearing looks horrible. I heard it was I heard it's bad. I mean, I've not seen it at all. I'm not here to say it doesn't happen on PlayStation. I just haven't seen it. You know. Said that the Xbox Series X GPU is cut down and underclocked. It's not as fast as the 6800 per se. Okay, so what is this? What is the 6800's clock? That up here. Let's see. So they underclocked the 6800. That's what you're saying. The base clock is 1825. So is it slower than that, or did they slow down the game clock? So which one did they slow down? The base or the game clock? It's 1.8. Okay, so they slowed down the base clock. Wow. Let me put that up on the screen. And PlayStation overclocked. Overclocked it. All right, let's see. Sony overclocked it. Do all this on this. Yeah, so the clock speed right here, it says clock speed. There's your base, there's your game. So it's slower than the game clock. And we know they don't have a boost mode on there. So, wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What do you think about that, audience? Think about that. Yeah, that doesn't look very good, does it? It looks like they down. I mean, dag on. Terrible. Terrible. So, PS5 is 2.3 gigahertz and is only 1.8. Okay. What? All right. So let's break it down in English. the base clock on the Series X is slower than this. Not that much slower, but slower than that. They slowed down their base clock, yes or no? I mean, this is a yes or no question. They slowed down the base clock and they've split the memory. All right, so instead of them having 16 gigabytes, they have what, 8? I'm sorry, they have 10, correct? I just want to make sure I get it right. Okay? I just want to make sure I get that right. So, goes up here where it says memory size 16 gig, it's 16, but they split it so they don't have as much memory and it's underclocked. Is that what they've done? PS5 is running 0.2 gigahertz slower than factory AMD. Okay. 10 and 6 small. Oh wow. Wow, that's that is not good. I mean, that makes that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. If that's accurate, make that clear. So and here's the graphic feature sets of the RDNA 2 cards you all see. Remember they keep talking about DirectX 12 and all this kind of stuff. Look, there's Vulkan right here. So Vulkan's right there. And I believe PlayStation uses Vulkan. It has a split configuration. That is horrible. Okay? That is horrible. So that's all I can really say. I mean, that is not good. PS5 is unified. Yeah, that I do know. That I remember. So, wow. Wow, that's amazing. Unfortunate. You know, for me, I'd be like, you know what? I'd be like, so much for your power narrative. That's over. I mean, that is over. Tenant, why does John run like what? Run like what? That isn't, you have to be a little more, I need a little more information than that. Run like what? That like button, people. Don't be scared. Like button won't hurt you. But it might. I don't know. It might. Because I'm looking at this right now and I'm like, you know, how in the world do they have a more powerful console if everything is down clock? So the bullets go backwards. How am I supposed to shoot somebody? Again, the bullets only go backwards if they have been inverted. Okay? That's how you shoot somebody. Okay? The weapon is the weapon is still the weapon. The bullet is what's inverted. So if you shoot me at, let's see what time is it? It's 1:45. If you shoot me in the shoulder with an inverted bullet, instead of it going into me and getting cold, it actually comes out cold and goes in and it starts getting hotter. So it starts burning me inside out. In order to stabilize me, that I would have to be inverted, okay? I would have to be inverted and then go back and start. That way it won't cause me as much pain. Then they could take the bullet out. Okay. The bullet comes out, but since I'm inverted, I'm still healing backwards. They would then have to uninvert me and bring me back to normal time. That's how people were getting shot. And you saw explosions going backwards and things like that. Because those explosions had already happened. They had already happened. So then it was happening in the final scene besides looking. What was happening in the final scene? In the final scene, the blue team attacked him and attacked Stas 12 inverted. And then the red team came in a pincer movement, already knowing what was going to happen. That's why when the red team, when John David Washington first lands, and they look over and see the blue team looks like they're going backwards because they had already been there. They just arrived. So the blue team had already got the information. That's why Neil knew that there was a bomb set, because it's like he saw that happen before that red team got there. So, how do you reload inverted ammunition into a magazine? How do you load it loads normal. You got to understand that you're still going to physically, the bullet is inverted, okay? Not the actual magazine or the round. It's the bullet that's inverted, okay? So the bullet, you're asking, instead of asking yourself where the bullet's going, you're supposed to be asking yourself, where did it come from? So that's it, okay? So whether you drop something that's inverted or not, it looks like on film that it's moving forward. No, aliens had nothing to do with it. They said it was some type of inverse radiation that they hadn't invented yet. So, but you have to remember what you're seeing in Tenet had already happened. It's just all they're doing is catching you up to the point where everything begins, which is when Kate sees a woman jump off the side of the boat. Okay. But bullets come from the Y plus, not from Y. No, not if they're inverted. Not if they're inverted. Okay. They're traveling backwards. So again, as I just said, it's now 12:50. If I get shot by an inverted bullet, I would have to go back through their turnstile. And as I go back through the turnstile, it won't hurt as much because I'm getting further away from the inverted action. Okay? I'm getting further away from the inverted action. So that's what you have to realize. Till I get to a point where I am stable and it doesn't hurt as much, then they could go in and take the bullet out. The bullet comes out. Now I start healing. I should start healing normal, like a normal person. But I'm trapped, but I'm inverted. I'm going backwards. So I'm actually hurting myself. Now I must come forward, even though I'm inverted. I must come forward and do it like that. Let me see if I can pull up this video. I'll probably have to take this down. Block that. This is a very good video on how this works. Audience, would you like to see that? See the video? All right. Here. About I mean, because I'm not gonna try to explain entropic wind. Now let's first things first here. I can. Oh, this one. May not be able to. Uh, okay, I think let me. I'm trying to remember how to do this. Okay. I want to give a shout out. Hold on, because I'm demonetizing this video. Um, all right. This shout out to Webby Coffee Spill. He's done a lot of videos on this to really help people. But this is the best way for this to be explained to you. So you see the words now. That's why it's in red. This is now. This is the way time is going to flow. Okay? The way time is going to flow. You're always moving forward in time. So this is a 3-minute video. This won't take long. Okay. So there's your protagonist walking forward. And this is the way you perceive time right now. Now, again, we can only see and experience what is in our now. Now, I'm going to pause it. This turnstile right here is going to take now and invert it so that you go backwards. Okay? But this has already happened. So it's not like you can change anything. Because what's happened has happened. So he goes through the turnstile, and now, all right, now, because he's gone. All right, and he's wondering where he is, and now he's going backwards. Okay? He's it again, he is going backwards. So, and now I believe they're going to show you some video from the movie. All right, now it clearly says here, to Neil's eyes, which is us, the guy's gone. Because he's no longer moving with him in his now. Because time for him is still going forward, even though he's just standing there. For the protagonist, he walked through a door that's going to allow him to go backwards. And you can see the clock is still going. The clock doesn't stop because he's going backwards. Again, the world is inverted. So let's see here if they show it in the movie. All right, now they're going to show you an example from the film. Okay. So see, they just ran through that door. There's your turnstile. And so to us, so the people on that side, he's gone. He disappeared. But that's because he's no longer is in there now. He's no longer in their timeline. He has gone back. Where'd he go? To the past. Okay. All right, but wait. Wouldn't Neil or us as Neil, have seen the protagonist in the past leading up to this point? Your answer is yes, you should. Yeah. See, at this point in now, Neil will have seen an inverted protagonist going backwards because again, this is the protagonist's future timeline. So you'll see what's happening. See? That's why you can exist in two different timelines. And even though to us, our timeline is red going forward. So inversion looks like the people are going backwards. Okay? They all three exist in this now. Okay? They can even interact with each other. Yeah, they can. Now, they go in at the same time. This is the way they go in at once. This is the way we perceive time. And it's going to be like he vanished. But yeah, they only exist in the past because his future over here, the protagonist's future is now he's now reversed it. That's all that you saw. Okay, that's all you were seeing in Tenet. So everything was moving backwards. So, and watch the clip again, okay? Because you'll see it happening in real time. So there you see how he's going backwards because we're seeing him in our now, but this has already happened. And so to us, it looks like he disappears. All right, now this is a very good video. This is 1 more minute. I promise you, this is 1 more minute long. Neil's future is the inverted protagonist past. Because Neil's always going forward. So he'll go in. Now you're going to be on the other side. Now everything's opposite. Because he's going to see himself walking in because that's his past. His past is over here. All right? So in the movie, now it's going to switch because remember, Sator is on the other side. Sator is on the blue side. He wasn't on the red side. He wasn't in the future. He was in the past. All right? So, but for us on the inverted side, this is our new now. Here's our past, right? Because in order for us to get to this point, we had to be over here. Okay? But now you'll just see it in the movie. There he goes. I mean, to me, that's pretty self-explanatory. And now, okay, now Sator is back in the past. He went back into the past. All right, and so he sees this. He sees the future. Okay, he sees his future. There you go. That's how that worked. I mean, that to me is self-explanatory. But I understand that people just for I understand. I'm not knocking it. A lot of people had a lot of trouble following that movie. So, no, it's not a mirror. It's a proving window. so, so that's how that worked. Check my Twitter DM. All right, thank you, Cryptid Viper. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What's up, Halamoko? I mean, there's other things you can actually look at again, that's why in the movie when the protagonist got in Neil's face and asked him, "Did he talk?" and I've said, "No, nobody talked. He's using a temporal pincer move. It not in space, but in time. So one of his team attacks you on the front end, and another team attacks you already knowing what's going to happen. Okay." So that's the truth. they see the inverted pass. So let's see if we can pull up another video here. Okay. All right. All right, this way. There's a whole bunch of videos. Again, shout out to Whippy Coffee. Shout out to him. Um, that's too complicated. Repeat win. I mean, again, so no, that's not that machine. So let's see. Might be able to do. I'm just gonna put this up on the screen. I'm not gonna play anything. Okay, so again, this right here where it says 2 times person, 1 red, non-inverted, 1 blue inverted. This is a proving window. The machine inverts you back into the past. So if you're walking in the past, you are going to be able to look over and see yourself going into the machine because this has become your future and you're looking backwards at the past. Okay? And so, but because you're moving to, again, if you're on this side of the window where it's red, because time is always moving forward. So if you're on this side, okay, if you look over, you'll see yourself right up until you get to the machine to go in. Okay? I mean, I don't know. That's pretty straightforward. Now, this comes from Nerdy Eye. Again, I'm not playing the video. I'm not going to do anything like that like I just did with the other one. So, but again, it's not their guns that are inverted. It's the weapons that they're using are inverted. So that is why when they attack Stas 12, actually when Kate's about to be shot, and this is not you all's fault, the sound mix was horrible. Okay, because it was a pandemic and they had trouble mixing the sound, which is not the audience's fault at all. It's a facto. But you actually hear Kate scream before she gets shot because that's because that's her future. And that's why he said he threatened to kill her in the past, which is her future. And he's like, I'm going in. Then they go back to the airport because, again, the airport is where another machine was that they could push her through, that they could invert that bullet that they had to take out of her. So that's why they went back to the airport, and then he saw himself. I don't want to, and then he saw himself. That's what happened, So they went back. You got to remember when they healed Kate and went to that airport, they went back 7 days because remember they hit that airport with that airplane 7 days ago in their timeline. But then all they did was they went back to that point and used the explosion as a diversion so that they could run their pincer movement at the airport. That's what they did. They were running pincer movements inside of pincer movement. That's why he said at the end, this whole thing is a pincer movement. So, and what now? That's fine. You can ask a PS5 question. But people driving cars backwards, but not even seeing what? People driving cars backwards by not even see where they are driving wouldn't work in any case. But if it's the past shown inverted and actions already taken, it's self-explanatory. Because because you're looking at it through time. Time is always moving forward for the audience. But what the audience did not know is that what they were seeing had already happened. And we had to just catch up to that point. Okay? We had to catch up to that point. So, let's see here. I can bring up the Stocks 12 battle. Yep, this is animated. This is extremely easy to see. This is going to have commercials. Yeah, let's try to do this the best we can. I promise you we'll get back to PS5. But Guabzula asked me this over a week ago, and he's been a sub for a hot minute, so I always take care of my peeps. Always got to take care of our peeps. This comes from us via Webby Coffee Spill. So you all should see. Yep. All right. So after they get briefed by the blue team, the red team begins its mission. Remember, the blue team's already been on the battlefield. The blue team has already been there. Okay. Time favors the red team's perspective in this battle. So the protagonist is in one of these red helicopters. Okay. So the protagonist gets out. Again, red team clears area for blue team extraction. That's what it looked like. The red team lands and the blue team was getting the heck on up out of there. But it's an inverted pincer. Okay? So to us, the red team, the blue team is moving backwards. Look how, and this shout out to Webby Coffee Spill. All right? Shout out to him. Again, this video is going to be demonetized, so hit that like button if you don't mind. So when we looked over in time, the blue team was moving backwards. But again, they had already been on the battlefield, and they were evacuating wounded people. This is what you saw. Okay, what you saw. So this right there, take him out. Remember, all right. So right before Ives and the protagonists get here, you see the ground moving around them because that was an inverted explosion. It had just barely missed them. So they take out that guy that's up in that building. They take him out. And again, the red team keeps moving forward. Neil inverts himself, and look at your clock up here. Always watch your clock. Because remember, the assault took 10 minutes. So Neil uninverts to warn the protagonist about the trap. Now, what trap are you talking about is what you're going to be asking me next, which is a fair question. Neil gets into this green truck, or gets into the Hummer, and now he's uninverted. So now Neil had left the blue team, uninverted himself in a turnstile. Now he's in normal time. Okay? Now he's in normal time. Okay, here comes the bad guy in that helicopter. And there's Neil right there. Because remember, Neil had already been here. So now the trap gets set. Neil sees him set the trap before. Okay, remember, the blue team had already been there. Blue team had already been there. And remember, the girl said, if your ass isn't back at the helicopter, you're getting left there. So again, they created the scratch, and that's why the building implodes and then puts itself back together again. Okay, so here's Neil in one part of time inverted, and here he is in the future. Okay, remember, time's always moving forward. But he fails. Neil fails. We're over here. Neil is going to fail. Okay? The blue team is still fighting. All right? Now they're in a tunnel. The red team now starts to leave the battlefield. The blue team, again, then there's Neil, and there's Neil. So here's Neil 1, here's Neil 2, and here's the bad guy. So that's it. That's how that worked. Let's go back to that. Go back to that. All right. So now look at it. All right, look at it like that. The blue team, now here's where you came in. The blue team is doing what? The blue team is leaving the battlefield. Okay? Blue team leaves the battlefield. And now all this is happening simultaneously. Again, look at your clock. The mission is almost over. And there you go. That is a pincer movement in time. Okay? That's how you would do it in time. If you time travel a pincer movement, and then they're going to go back, the blue team is now going to come back and do their briefing. And now what's good about this is you will now see it backwards. It's going to be the exact same thing backwards. Okay? Now remember, when the blue team came in, this explosion, and it happens very quickly. The girl looks out of this box and you see this explosion in this Jeep here. So again, you're looking backwards. All right, now you're looking backwards. Yep, there's that blue arrow. The blue team lands. Remember, they're inverted. And now it looks like it's a pincer movement. So now the blue team clears it for the red team. And now everything is just going to run backwards. So see, the blue team would have looked over and the red team would have been moving backwards because the blue team is inverted. The red team is still in normal time. The red team never left normal time. That's the best explanation I can give to you. Shout out to Webby Coffee Spill. Again, shout out to him. Go sub to him. He did an outstanding job explaining this. And I didn't have to. I mean, I saw the movie once and I got it. But a lot of people were confused on how to run pincers in time. So the machine not really explained at the beginning of the movie. They really didn't do a good job of explaining it because they would have to explain entropy wind or entropic wind. They tried to explain it when he was saying that one side is always going uphill. And that's what the protagonist said, they're pissing in the wind. And he said, well, if the algorithm would change that, it would reverse that entropic wind. So they aren't shooting backwards. They just see an inverted path. Yeah, they're still firing. Yeah. Again, their weapons when they attacked Stalls 12 they were inverted. That's why the building blew up and then put itself back together because it went back to that one point in time. So that's it. What's up, A1 PlayStation Pegasus? How are you doing? Again, that is from Webby Coffee Spills, and everybody needs to go sub to that guy who actually is having I can't say they're having an issue, but if you want a deeper explanation on what you saw, he is the man. Okay, he's the man. So, but this video I'll have to take down. But yeah, we'll go back to PS5. So, okay, well, Tony Toy's story with Ria Yana. Ask a PS5 question. We talked about it. Talked about the PS5 earlier. So since the machine I really explained beginning. I understand the movie better after my second watch. Yeah, that's fine. The red team and blue team and crazy fast-paced cuts between the scenes. I agree. I don't disagree with that. The problem is that you have to remember that the red team is always moving forward. Okay? So when they show you somebody on the red team, it's going to look, because they're moving forward all the time. The blue team is moving backwards because they're inverted, and remember, you will see your past self. So that's all. That's all it was. What's up, Paul G? What game is this? This is Mass Effect Andromeda. So you need the right mindset to understand Tenet. Well, I mean, again, try to understand that when they went through the turnstiles, you got to remember you have to remember Kate getting shot. As soon as Kate gets shot and they go back, time stopped right there for the protagonist and Neil. Okay, time stopped because they went back to that point in time. Then when they came back to that exact moment in time. Okay? They had to come back. That's why they were back on that boat. And then when Kate went to Vietnam, Kate went to Vietnam, so she went back, I think, one day more. I think she went back 15 days. The Tenet team's assault happened on the 14th day. Michael Caine said 14 days ago there was a explosion at Stas 12. At the same time, there was an attack on the on that opera. Again, so they were that's why the protagonist when Neil shot that guy that was standing behind the protagonist with an inverted round. Now, what should have been happening to that guy as he got closer to being shot, his arm or whatever Neil shot him, shoulder, should have already started to hurt. It'd been like, all right, why am I hurting? Why did the protagonist not bleed until he got closer? Remember, the protagonist starts bleeding when he went back in time because he got stabbed. And remember, the closer he got to that moment of being stabbed, the more his shoulder started to hurt or his arm. That's why, because he was getting closer to what I would call a 0 point. And then when he's fighting, looks like when he's fighting himself, he's actually trying to get to the door. Okay? He's trying to get to the machine so that he can run through, and then Neil sees him. So that's all. That's all it was. So that's fine. Yeah, come back with more questions. All right. Any more questions about the PS5 being more powerful than Series X? We know it now. Let's just, we're here to celebrate that. Yeah, Guapazulu's right. The Xbox is the most powerful console on paper. You cannot argue. I'm not arguing the specs. I'm not arguing to say that it's a terrible kit. Do not put words in my mouth. That's not what I'm saying. I'm simply saying that PS5 is right where we thought it was going to be, and it looks like it's giving us a little bit more. So it's giving us a little bit more. So I'm gonna actually, let me put this here. Copy. Edit. Put this in the description. Let me go to monetization. Let me turn the monetization off. There. So there we go. Hell, now I'm in a Tenet mood. I may watch it again. So, but yeah, does everybody understand it? Yeah. All right, yeah, it's not that hard to understand. It's not that hard to understand. So the proving windows are exactly that. The reason why they're called proving windows is because you need proof seeing yourself come out. That way you know that that's why he says if you don't see yourself, you ain't getting out. Okay. So what's up, Lincoln Clay? We need Andromeda, those remnant architect boss fights were a pain. And yeah, that's true. Those are actually fun. Yeah, when that thing would sit on the ground, yeah, I had fun with those. I had some fun with those. Um, follow the instructions on Paper to Billy Series X, you'll get a console. Oh, really? Okay, didn't know that. The machine isn't really never explained. The machine inverts entropy. That's the tenant machines invert entropy. That's what they do. If you can invert entropy, you can invert everything. So, I mean, just like if you can invert gravity, you can invert. I mean, if you invert, if you can manipulate gravity, you can make force shields and all that kind of stuff. Force shields and time. You can manipulate time. You can all that stuff. Yeah. So, but yeah, there were things about Mass Effect Andromeda. In Mass Effect Andromeda, great combat, great graphics. The sound was really good. What was trash, so trash, was the story. And they had some characters that nobody cared about. That's just the reality of the situation. I still think that they should have let us use that's the thing. Somebody from Mass Effect 1 that you saw a handful of times and then that was it. So yeah. But yeah, it wasn't a very good game. It just wasn't. It was bad when Gamer MD83 and her boyfriend or fiance or whatever it is works for BioWare. She literally was like, we shouldn't be forced to play a game that we don't like. So it was funny. So it was bad. It was real bad for Mass Effect. But yeah, guys, that was pretty much it. That's why it was just a celebration and PS5 winning the Power Crown. And now it's just, everybody just enjoy the console. Like I said, I'm gonna be keeping my ears on, as they would say, I'll be keeping my ears on to let you all know when there's some out there. Again, if you want to lease to own one, and everybody's different. I showed you all where to go for that. You can order one today, and it would be here. Today's the 13th, and I'd say it'll probably get here on the 20th. Okay. You would have one, though. You would have one. Hit that like button, people. So. But yeah, I thought Tenet was pretty straightforward and wasn't hard to follow. Just it's this thing when he said it was a pincer move, like, oh, all right, well, yeah, if it's a pincer movement and you already have information from the future, that's why. that is why Sador got so powerful. Okay, he was, true. So it would be like, okay, I don't know, lottery drawing is tonight, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna watch the lottery numbers get drawn, and then you watch on TV, you watch the lottery numbers get drawn, and then you go back through this turnstile to that exact moment. Okay, you could actually go in to the store with the breathing stuff on, because it wouldn't look that crazy right now with the pandemic going on. You could go in, okay, to that store, put down those lottery ticket numbers, win the lottery, okay, but and win the lottery. Now, you're existing in two different spots. What would happen is you would wait on the other side of the proving window until you saw yourself come back. Okay? That's what you would do. You would see yourself get to the machine and then walk into the machine. And as soon as you started to walk in the machine, you would just walk in, and then you would be right back where you were, except you had the winning lottery ticket. Okay? And that's how you take information from the future, you know, that's how you would take information and bring it backwards, bring it back to you. You would still have the lottery numbers. You would have the lottery ticket. Then you could just, that would be it. That would be it. You know, so again, you watch the lottery numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the lottery. And you say, okay, I know the winning lottery numbers. You go to this machine, you go through the machine, you come out on the other side, inverted, you're now traveling backwards. You go and buy a lottery ticket, okay, already knowing what the lottery numbers are because you're traveling back to a certain point in time. You buy the lottery numbers, okay, and then you walk out of the store, wherever you bought them, the mom and pop shop, the wherever, the Speedway, the wherever. You walk back, and you're still going to be walking forward, okay, but to everybody else around you that sees you, like, well, why is that guy walking backwards? He's doing the moonwalk. But you're still, well, again, now remember, I'm sorry, I explained that wrong. You would be walking forward back to the machine like a normal person. Everybody else around you will be moving backwards because now you're traveling back to the machine, okay? You walk into the room. As soon as you walk into the room, you could look over and see your past self on the red side of that room. That would be lit up red. The room you're in now will be lit up blue with your lottery ticket. You then would walk over and see yourself and have the lottery ticket, and then you would get into the machine and you know, because you're returning to that point. Both of you would get, you and your future self would get into the machine, merge, your entropy would then be normalized, and you come back out on the red side with the lottery ticket. So you would have the winning lottery ticket. That's the way time inversion works. Because it's time travel with a closed loop. That's it. But all right, guys, that is it. I'm gonna jump on off here. I'm actually gonna get back on Death Stranding because I gotta deliver this woman that's too slow to walk on your back on her own. So all right then, guys, that is it. I do appreciate it. Like I said, PS5 wins the Power Crown, and we had our little Tenet thing. So but yeah, I'm gonna bounce like a bad check. Peace. Here's some music while we leave. And to the studio audience, are you happy? All right, well, that's all we can finish. All right, peace out.